Hey kids. All right, so we're going to go over this packet that you got. Hopefully you've done some of it, I'm guessing, because your parents are probably wanting you to be busy. This is what this is for. It's a good review and just to kind of keep you in the swing of things. So keep doing things like this, keep reading. But I thought if you were doing it, you would like to know the answers. So today I am going to go over day one and Payback for a Pest and the school play. And then and then I'll just kind of do some separate videos. I want to give you time to do it and then come back and check. All right, so let's get started. All right, day one. Yodel, the golden retriever, barked very loudly on Tuesday afternoon. His bark smothered all the other sounds in the neighborhood. The bark was the only thing anyone could hear on the busy street. Yodel believed he saw a robber enter the house. Trying to warn his owners, he yelped, barking at a high pitch. Yodel's owners raced out to meet him, but they found nothing wrong. It turned out that Yodel had only seen his own shadow. In the passage, what is the meaning of yelp? It was A, to make more cheery, B, to conceal all trouble, C, to let out a sharp cry, or D, to cause confusion. And the answer is C, to let out a sharp cry. The clue there is after it says yelped, if you go up to the sentence, right after the underlined word yelped, they have an example context clue, which is barking at a high pitch, which would be a sound. All right, I'm going to move on to Payback for a Pest. Nui is my older brother by 4 years, and when we were growing up, he was a pest. When I was 10, Nui called me names like runt or short stuff. He liked to tease me because I was what Mom called a late bloomer. I don't know what she meant by that. I was short. One time when we went to the amusement park, I wasn't allowed to go on the good rides because I wasn't tall enough. Don't worry, short stuff. I'll have a blast for the both of us. I hear they take you high enough to see Canada. I'll make sure to take a picture for you, he said, laughing. Nui also liked to play tricks on me. We had to share a bedroom, and one time I woke up to find he had taped my legs together. I was late getting ready for school that day. Another time, he put the television remote on the mantle above the fireplace because he knew I couldn't reach it. I can't get the remote, Nui. I'm too short, I told him. The truth isn't always pretty, he responded. One day, you're going to get yours, Nui, I said angrily, walking out of the room. Give me a break. You can't even tie your own shoes. He called out to me. Well, Nui and I no longer share a room because he went away to college last year. He came home for summer break the other day, just after I turned 15. When I opened the door, I stood towering over him. I'd grown so much since he was gone that Nui had to look up at me. It was so satisfying to smile down at him and ask, well, who's the short stuff now? I wonder where Mom put that tape. In paragraph 2, what does Nui mean when he says, I'll have a blast for the both of us? A, he means he'll have fun for both of them. B, he means he'll pick on someone else later. C, he means he'll cause trouble in the park. Or D, he means that he'll play music loudly on the ride. And the answer is A. A, he means he'll have fun for the both of them. So having a blast is an idiom for have fun. All right, moving on. Number 3. I felt alone. Mary had left. David had left. Kathy and Heather were on their way out. It was just me and my dog. There was no one left to talk to. I felt like I had been deserted. Which word from the paragraph helps the reader know what deserted means? A, alone, B, out, C, Mary, D, there. And the answer is A, alone. And they give you some clues in that sentence when it says, I felt alone. That's a clue. Everyone was gone, meaning you would be alone, and no one left to talk to. and they all point to being alone. All right, number 4. Doris was a curious girl. She always wondered. She wondered about the sky being blue. She wondered about what is under the earth. She wondered about what kids were doing on the other side of the world. Sometimes she was too nosy about some things. One time she tried to eat glue because she was curious to find out if it tasted like cotton candy. She was wrong. Which word from the paragraph helps the reader know what curious means? A, sometimes. B, wondered. C, eat. D, Doris. And the answer is B, wondered. When you wonder about things, you're thinking about it, and that would make you curious, wanting to know the answers. All right, number 5. Darlene's teacher, Miss Rose, asked her to recite a poem in front of the class. What does the word recite mean in the above sentence? A, speak something aloud in front of an audience. B, tell a joke to the class. C, read the poem to herself quietly. Or D, memorize the poem. And the answer is A, speak something aloud in front of an audience. And the clue there is in front of the class. You would be up, standing, speaking. All right, the school play. Finally, the big day had arrived. It was opening day for the school play, and Carly had the lead role. Carly and the rest of the cast had been practicing after school for nearly 2 months. They were anxious and excited at the same time because this was the first time that the 5th grade students at South Elementary were putting on a play, and the whole community was eager to see the children perform. Mrs. Johns made sure that all the sets were ready and that the costumes were just right. All of the students had learned their lines carefully. As the curtain was about to open at the start of the play, Carly suddenly became frightened about performing in front of so many people. She then realized that she was prepared and thrilled to be acting in this play. She took a deep breath and practiced her opening line in her head. Just then, Mrs. Johns raised the curtain and Carly forgot all about being nervous. All of the students quickly got into character and performed perfectly. The first 5th grade play was a success. Based on the details from the first paragraph of the story, the reader can tell that Mrs. Johns is Carly's mother, B is Carly's teacher, C is an actor, or D is in charge of the play. And the answer is D. She is in charge of the play. You may have even answered teacher because a lot of times teachers do help put on plays, but there's really nothing that gives us a clue to that. It just says that she was in charge of costumes and the set. And then it goes on to talk about them learning their lines, but we don't know how they did that. So that is why the answer is that she's just in charge of the play. All right, we will continue tomorrow with the next 2 passages. Some of the questions do not go with the passage. I realize that. Also, if you get to one and you're stuck, don't get frustrated. Just do the best you can. This is just a way for us to check and see how you're doing on this to your best. All right.